everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I am super excited about the Bob's Chord Academy starting on September 20th. Can't wait. In fact, I can't wait so much that I want to show you 3 chords of just kind of the style of what this chord academy is going to be like. So there's so many fun things you can do with triads. So just hang in there. This is really change your life kind of stuff. Let me turn off that. So if you take an F triad and you put it in both hands, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to go up with your thumb up a half step, and I want you to go up with your bottom note with your pinky up a whole step. And now you have a beautiful A7 sharp 9 sharp 5 chord. Let's put the bass note just so you hear how beautiful this is. Now, I'm going to show you 3 different chords and even how they relate to each other, but also the most important thing is using triads. Once we get and understand major key signatures and triads, it really will totally change the way you think about music, and I promise you that. So one of the things we're going to do in the academy is I'm going to make sure you know your major scales, and then we start building using shapes and using triads and building amazing chords. So the first one we're going to do once again is take your F triad, put it in both hands. Your left hand thumb is going to go up a half step. Now you're on C sharp. Your bottom note is going to go up a whole step. Now let's talk about what that chord is. And we have 3 of these we're going to do, and you're going to absolutely be blown away with the last 2. So if you have an A in the bass, you think about the A major scale. A major has 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So if we learn the scale, which we will make sure everybody knows the scale, very important. We all have to learn our major scales, and I love to teach that. So have no fear. You will learn everything, all of the scales, all the fingerings. And so what we're going to do is, if you know your major scale, you think in terms of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whenever we are building chords, we're thinking left to right, just like you read. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So to build an A7 sharp 9 sharp 5 voicing, we're using a formula. We think in terms of numbers. So I'm thinking the flat 7 of the A major scale, the 3rd note of the A major scale, and then my right hand I have the sharp 5, which normally is an E. The sharp 5, some people say a flat 13, and then your root, and then your sharp 9 on top. Normally B it's the 2nd note of the scale, but you're sharping that 9, meaning you're raising it. Now the other thing is, why do we call this a sharp 9 on top, is because whenever we have a flat 7 of the scale in there and we add notes on top, they're called extensions, so the numbers actually get higher. It's not the 2nd note anymore of the A major scale, it's the 9th. And we say because we have the flat 7, we're building extensions on top. So you still have this idea of A7 sharp 9 sharp 5, and an easy way to get to that chord, especially for a beginner, is you take 2 triads. Thumb goes up a half step, your bottom note goes up to a whole step, and now you're on G, C sharp, F, A, and C. Now as we learn these chords and we do this together, we're going to be breaking things down. Like, I love to teach the up-down approach, so I'm just getting familiar with each key, each sound. And I'm also thinking, okay, in my right hand it's an F triad, so I could arpeggiate that in root position. Arpeggiating means going up, F, A, C, F, A, C, and that's going to sound great. And also I can practice going up and down, and that sounds really nice. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is do the next chord. You are going to love this sound right here. So you have D minor in the left hand. So normally you have D major, D minor, and in our right hand we're going to have C major. Now this by itself is a fantastic chord. I could play a D in the bass. Let's listen to how that sounds. Now, why in the world do these 2 triads in root positions sound so good? And one of the reasons is because you're thinking about this now in D major. D major has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. And so this formula is root, so 1, and then you have flat 3 of a D major scale. Normally D has an F sharp, and then your 5th note is in there, and then your right hand you have the flat 7, the 9, and the 11th note. So even that right there. Now, why in the world can I call that an 11th note of D major? And normally I would think of it as a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the reason we call it 11 is the same thing we did in the other chord. Because we have the flat 7 of a D major scale, we're adding notes on top called extensions. And the great thing about that is just even in its most simple basic form, we're going to take D minor, and you know that the C triad in root position sounds good. So does the first inversion C triad. Opens it up a little bit. Do it again, and it sounds fantastic over the C in second inversion. Now, here's where it gets crazy good. The beautiful thing about triads is not only do they sound great, but you can mix the chords up so they sound even better. So what I'm going to do in this case is instead of D minor in root position, D, F, A, I'm going to open up this voicing a little bit. I'm going to do what's called a 10th. And you can roll it up, whatever you need to do. You can hit the pedal down and just do like that. But the idea is you're taking the root, the 5th, and the minor 3rd of D, the D major scale. So you have root, 5th, and normally a D major, but we're going D minor. And on our right hand, instead of root position triad, which does sound fine, we're going to do a second inversion C triad. So now you have this, and I even doubled it on top. I doubled the G. You don't have to do that. So now you have this idea. Let's connect the two ideas. So the first chord, A7, sharp 9, sharp 5, and then let's do a little melody note of B flat, and now we're going to hit the A note. Now, isn't that a nice, beautiful sound when you start taking your triad? So this is where we started with that, which sounds great. And I want people to practice that too. I want all of us to be able to do that. So you say D minor with a C major gives you a D minor 11 without even hesitating. You know that. And then when you take this to the next level, you say D minor with a C in second inversion. Already you're getting a really beautiful sound. So if we take these two chords, A7 sharp 9 sharp 5, B flat, and now you do, I like the way we did that. We went ba da, and right here we went da. And I just kind of, I'm thinking like a guitar player as well. You think bottom note and you're rolling it up. That sounds really nice. Do we have this? Okay, now if you're enjoying this lesson, make sure you like this video, and I would love for you to leave a comment. Our channel is really growing fast, and part of that is with the engagement. I've been really looking forward to all the comments you guys have been sending me and emails, and just very thankful for all of that. Okay, so let's go back to the Chord Academy. Starts on the 20th. I'm so excited because I want you to be able to take the things that you know, the chords that you know, and be able to play them in all keys. Like, imagine the freedom you're going to have if you're practicing and somebody's working with you of going, saying, you know what, I want to be able to play this in all keys, and I want to be able to start here and get this voicing down. And so we'll be doing training like up, down approach, all keys. So the way it's going to work, just so you guys know, is that each week you'll have a 30-minute live lesson. So we'll all be together. And then I will do a 30-minute lesson on that. It is pre-recorded at the end of the week, so you guys will have that, and it'll cover every single key. So the concept of the week and every key. And also I provide sheet music on everything. You guys know that. So anyway, let's do this again. So we have two chords already. We're about to do the third one. Okay, so sit with this chord. I did a video a couple days ago called Sitting with a Chord, and I love for us to sit with chords. That means I want you to take one chord, get used to the sound, and then you're sitting with this one idea. But yes, you can go up and down by half steps. If you have trouble, go back to where you started. I always like to say push yourself by going up and down by whole steps, but if you ever have trouble, go back to something you're comfortable with and revisit the formula: flat 7, 3rd, sharp 5, root, and sharp 9. And I go down a half step and get familiar with that. So the other day we did this voicing. We did D7, sharp 9, sharp 5, right? A different voicing, but it's the same kind of concepts. And the great thing about this is that if I know this A7, sharp 9, sharp 5, I can play the tritone away, which we'll cover more of that in another video, but that's the sharp 4 away, so 4 notes away plus a half step, and that gives you what's called the tritone. And I can play that tritone E flat over the same exact chord. Now we just knocked out 2 really nice chords. Here you have A7, sharp 9, sharp 5. Just change the bass, and now you have from an E flat, you have the 3rd, the flat 7, the 9, the sharp 11, and the 13 on top. So that's an E flat 13, sharp 11. Isn't that fun that you can just change the bass note? And that's one really fun little trick about jazz, is often we'll play voicings that we have the same exact voicing, but you change just the bass note, you have a completely different chord. So that should be an encouraging word for us as we learn all of these different voicings. So yesterday or the day before, we did half step approaches on one chord, D7, sharp 9, sharp 5. Today I'm showing you 3 voicings. I want to go over those again because we have some new people watching. It's just A7, sharp 9, sharp 5. We're doing formulas. This Chord Academy is going to be, it's about accountability, but in a very fun way. I just want to encourage all of you that you can play in all keys, and it's going to give you a freedom like you've never had before. And so just to play this F triad, both hands, thumb goes up a half step, bottom note goes up a whole step, and now you have a beautiful A7, sharp 9, sharp 5, a really open, rootless voicing. So bass player can play that A down there. You can play E flat in the bass, but you still are working on the formula. So from an A major scale, which everybody's going to make, I'm going to make sure everybody knows their major scales. You're going to say the formula, left to right, is this formula: flat 7 of the A major scale, the 3rd note of the A major scale, the sharp 5, the root, and it's nice to know that the middle finger in the right hand is going to get the root of whatever key we're in, and then you have the sharp 9 on top. And anytime I add sharp 9, it's also saying that yes, there is a flat 7 of the major scale, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, and you have the flat note of G sharp goes to G natural, and now you have this voicing. Okay, so here's where we are. We did A7, sharp 9, sharp 5, and then we did this nice little B flat, and then we went to here with the A, and now we're doing a spread out D minor voicing with a C triad second inversion. Probably in 90% of my videos, I tell you guys that my favorite triad is the second inversion, C well, in this case, C or D, whatever key I'm in, but like C major, second inversion triad. It's my favorite one, even when I'm doing like gospel movements and things like that. It's like if I was playing a hymn, I would do this idea of second inversion triads. Like I love that sound. Okay, so knowing that, if you say C in second inversion, and now I spread out that D minor, and all I did is take this already really nice voicing, and I go D minor with a C in the right hand. And now that right there sounds great. But we can take our triads and spread them out in different ways. So C major, now I can do G, C, E, so I just changed the order a little bit, have my second inversion triad, and instead of D minor in root position, I'll put the D on the bottom, the 5th note, and then the minor 3rd. So still a D minor chord, but spread out. And so now you have that beautiful voicing. And what I would do with that voicing is I would practice kind of like a guitar player again. Practice playing it all together if you can, and then also practice. And also, if you have smaller hands and that's difficult for you, just use your thumb. That's perfectly awesome and normal. Like you could just do that right there, and no problems at all. There it is right there, your thumb, and that's beautiful. You could do it lots of different ways. You could do it like that if you want to. Okay, so let's do a recap on that. Da da da. Okay, now let's put the last chord in. The last chord we're going to do is this chord. A7, and you have your flat 9 here and your 13. So it's A13 with a flat 9. Let's talk about how I got this formula together. So we did the root of the A major scale, the flat 7 of the A major scale, the 3rd note, the 13th. Now why in the world is this the 13? Because we're adding the flat 7, and on top we have the F sharp, and then we have the flat 9 on top. So A13 flat 9. That's a beautiful chord as well, and I would practice that in half steps and whole steps. There's so many different ways to play these chords, but notice that a lot of the time it's variations on the triad or different inversions of the triad. And on purpose, I did this right here. If you have an A7 or A13 flat 9, notice that it's a triad. It's the F sharp triad in second inversion right there. And then another fun thing that you can do, and I want you guys to do, is go up and down with the triad. Like, just get familiar with the sound. And there are even nice little tricks you can do to, just like we did, 2 triads, thumb up a half step, and then up a whole step. There are things you can do even on A7, like if I have my F sharp triad in second inversion, notice that my bass note is going to be down a half step, so A, I play that low A, and then my middle note of the triad just go up a half step, and there's your shortcut right there. So let's recap by just me telling you these formulas, and then I'll let you guys go practice that. And I would love for you to comment on this video about these 3 chords. They are kind of, in my opinion, change your life chords. It's like if you're used to not using triads or used to using triads but in a different way, now you're combining triads to create these really beautiful voicings, and then you change the order of the triads and it makes it even more beautiful. So I want your feedback on if you find these helpful. But this is definitely the way I like to teach, and I will continue to teach, because we learn our major scales, we learn our formulas in numbers, and then we can start by building confidence by taking these simple ideas, go up a whole step, a half step, but we still know the formula. Flat 7, 3, sharp 5, root, and sharp 9. And we get used to playing these in different keys. So each week we're going to be able to do that. So the first chord is that A7 sharp 9 sharp 5. Then we're going to hit a melody note, and now we're here. And all I did here is I took the D minor and the C major voicing, and I spread it out. Root, 5th, minor 3rd. In the right hand I did C triad in second inversion. So we have this. And now watch this. Yeah, so voice leading is when you make really nice choices to connect your notes of your melody notes. And I probably love ballads more than anything, and I'm constantly thinking da 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 da, and now do it again, da da da. So the first time I was here, da da da. And notice that on this D minor at the last thing, I'm like messing around. Like, do I just want to take that C chord and go up and down, or do I want to roll it up, or do I have the A note on top, or the G on top, or the F, or the 9th? And right there, notice what I did. I just hit that A7 sharp 9 sharp 5, and I went up by half steps. And I'm still thinking of the same melody, but just creating a little tension there. All right, that to me is a great way to think about our triads. Just a good thing to do today. And as a reminder, if you need to go back and watch the video from yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, we did D7 sharp 9 sharp 5. And a little different order, right? But it's still the same thing. I had that triad in my right hand, and I'm going up and down by whole steps, half steps. So now you have this as well. You have that, and you have this. All right, I hope you have a great day today, and I appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Thank you for somebody gave me a donation yesterday, and that hardly ever happens. Most of the time people just get courses, but very thankful for those of you who are even buying my old courses, which we've been in an old course thing. I just said, all right, I'm going to get everything for very affordable. So you go to imusicacademy.com, you'll see there's about 6 or 7 very affordable courses. Older courses from 2016 to 2020, but they're very valuable, and I use them all the time in our Blues Academy, almost every day, and they're very good. They have sheet music with everything. individual lessons that painfully take everything to show you exactly how to do it. But you guys know that. I do appreciate everybody who's been getting my courses, even though I've been giving you everything on this channel. And there's a Blues Volume 1 where I show you all the licks in there. Blues Volume 2, we have an alternate bass line course, and I put everything out there. You don't have to buy anything, but I do appreciate everybody who's been supporting the channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I will be doing another Chord Academy preview tomorrow, and I would like, if anybody wants to join that, I'm going to do a public one, will be a surface level thing, and then I've had tons of people say they want to be a part of the Academy, but I need to know how many people that we have that might really be interested. And you can email me, bobtaylormusic@gmail.com, bobtaylormusic@gmail.com. If anybody makes it to the end of this video, then I'll know from your email. Have a great day.